Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Brian's farm. So I'm starting off today in the strawberry field. I started to notice the past couple days that we have quite a bit of strawberries coming on, and the ones that are coming on, the birds are starting to get. So it's definitely not enough to open up for the pick your own. And like I said, I don't want to let these ones go bad from the birds. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through these 3 rows, because these are the only 3 that are ready, and pick off as many as I can. Like I was saying in my previous video, this one has a little bit of a white tip, but that's okay. These berries are enormous. There's not a lot of them, but the ones that are here are gorgeous. There's a weed. Okay, now this one, prime example of what the birds did to it. So that's no good. So, since we're pretty sure we're gonna open up on Friday, today is Tuesday, we're getting our sign out by the highway, which is only a mile from where we're gonna be picking. And right now, obviously it says open now. We have these signs that we put on every year. We like to get this sign out about a week before. Obviously, it's a little later than a week now, but we want to get people's attention, want to get them to start thinking about it, telling their friends. So anyway, here's the signs we have, and we have screws here just to screw them in. And then once opening day comes, we'll go out early in the morning and take these off. My drill. Can you see that? Something's going on with my drill. It's not the battery. It's like the motor is just, it's going. Sometimes if you just, there you go, you know what I mean? It's like it's not engaging. Good. Okay, and then, so this whole wagon will just sit out there. The ratchet shops are pretty tight, they should hold. And Ben's also gonna ride out on the road for a mile, just holding this thing. I don't think anybody will catch us. Okay, so me and Ben got the sign out to 93, which is the highway next to our market. And we're back to the farm here now. Ben went home. And the strawberries I picked this morning that you've seen, we're here now cutting the tops off of them. Sammy's got a good pile of them done there. And then that wool's already done. And so what's gonna happen is now we're gonna take the tops off, and then we're gonna head out to the market, and we're gonna start to make what we call our strawberry surprises. So today we're starting off by picking strawberries for the first time this year. It's gonna be me, Sammy, Ben, Frank, and Steph. So we're not gonna pick a ton because people just aren't quite used to us having them at our market yet. Probably gonna pick about 50 quarts, but hopefully within about the next week, and the berries start coming on better and better, we'll be picking over 100, because then we should be right about in the heart of strawberry season and people are just gonna be buying them like crazy. Sammy's here I actually forgot to get her a tray, so she's just picking into a quart. There's not a ton out here. We just had an inch of rain last night, so they didn't really ripen much, but we did have 90-degree heat and sun yesterday during the day, so that definitely helped them ripen a little. But we only have 3 rows that are on right now, and they're starting to get pretty ripe, so we want to get them off. But besides these 3, there's really nothing else throughout the entire field. So we're all just going to go through, get these picked off, so that way we don't lose any, because as you can see, they're really nice and red. There's just not a ton of them. So this is our older field. We're not picking out of the new field because we want to save them for the pick your own. And I was just out there this morning. There is some nice ones out there, but again, there's not a ton of them yet. We were advertising that we're going to open Friday, but we're not 100% sure now because we just don't want people to come and have to close in the first hour. So we'll see what happens, but we're not 100% positive. A lot of them are kind of like this. Just a little bit white yet, not ready. Frank and Steph and Ben and Sammy have been going through here like crazy trying to get the weeds out, but we're really fighting a losing battle just because of all the holes and the berries that didn't come up. You can see the grasses and stuff. We've been trying to clean them and weed whack them as much as possible, but it's just a real struggle, especially with all the other things we have going on the farm. All right, so we've been picking now for about a half hour. My tray is done. Sammy just put a white one on top there. I'm not gonna say nothing. Out here, Steph is working on a tray. Right there. And then at the far end, it's kind of hard to see, is Ben and Frank. We've just about got this section that we want to get picked clean, and then we're going to move into unloading truck because, like I said, this is the other varieties up here. And actually, there's a couple berries I'm seeing here, but there's not many at all. You can see all the little ones that are coming on, but there's just not many right. Here's a nice one. And when they're that dark, they got to get picked off because they'll be rotting within about the next 3 or 4 days. Wow, there's some nice ones there. There's some good ones right here. There's some bad ones there too, though. Get this one. Same as one here.
I got it.
In here, I'm seeing quite a few. How you making out, Frank?
Good. Finding a lot of half-eaten ones.
Yeah, the birds, well, now that we're out here, the birds won't get them near as much. But while the first ones that ripen, the birds love to get them.
Being quicker, it's just a matter of finding a good spot.
Yeah.
Honey hole.
Ben's probably one of the slowest pickers that we have.
That is not true. I'm probably the fastest.
Yeah, okay.
Here we go with Sammy bragging. Remember last year when Sammy picked the most quarts of berries, and then we looked at all our quarts? We looked at all our quarts and they were all half full. And then we had to go and top them off.
Is that true, Sammy?
No.
It's completely true.
I'm gonna see how many quarts I can get this year, more than you, Ben.
There's no competition.
The competition is starting now.
There is no competition.
Yes,
Allegedly. So,
I gotta stop being so picky because you know, stuff like this I didn't grab
oh yeah, that's fine because I mean,
It'll
just sitting on the
But it's
table
gonna
during the
ripen
day,
though.
that's gonna
because they
ripen.
ripen so fast, right?
Yep. So this is the first strawberry harvest of the year.
I'll
What's
get
there?
better.
28 quarts there? 24, 25, 26. I thought we did 28. No.
Well,
You got something missing somewhere?
probably sitting somewhere.
We got strawberries picked, got them out to the market, sold out within like a half hour. So we went and picked a couple more, like 15 or 20 more, took them out, and then went down, unloaded van. Then after they unloaded the van, We went over to the shed, got a bunch of stuff cleaned up. And so I just didn't video much, I was just cleaning. And now I'm out here in the field where I planted the beans, we laid the plastic, peas, red beets, all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't look like the red beets are coming up. Oh yeah, they are. Here they are. You can see the red beets are just starting to come out of the ground now. So hopefully within the next couple days, we just got an inch of rain last night. So within the next couple of days, these should really be out of the ground, like 2 or 3 more inches. There's one row right here. Right here's another row. 2, right here's row number 3, and row number 4. And they go all the way out to the middle there between the 2 sections of plastic. So then up here, across the plastic, I'll try not to walk in this too much, is well, here's our drive road. That way we can drive through to pick our pickles and pick them up. And then up here is our beans, or yeah, our beans right here. This is, I think, green beans. And you can see we're starting to get a couple of weeds, and I didn't think we should be getting these quite yet, but we are. We might have to come through and get some of them out of here so they don't crowd out the plants. And then here's our lettuce. Now, my dad had to spray our cabbage and stuff like that for mites, and he thinks that the lettuce didn't like that. So we only planted a little bit just because, you know, we wanted to have some early at market. But if we lose it, I guess it ain't that big a deal, because I'd rather lose the lettuce than lose the cabbage from bugs. So I'll just take the good with the bad there. And then out here, which it's really muddy, you can see the mud. Like, we wanted to plant today. Casey, can you get your nose out of there, please? You can see the mud there. We wanted to plant, but it's just so muddy that we couldn't get the tractors into the field. So hopefully now tomorrow we can get in. Right here, I think now we're into the yellow beans. On my right here, that's planted really close, is kohlrabi. And then out here, well, it's still yellow beans, and it looks like they're coming up really nice. I was having a lot of trouble, not with the beans as much as the red beets. It's funny how just a couple feet down the field can get so much rockier. Like, I was with all my might pressing down with that little bike and pressing forward to push the rocks out of the way and keep the planter into the ground, so that way, you know, they got planted deep enough and they grew properly. So I'm happy everything's doing as good as what it is. And then right here is where it switches over to peas. So right here, the beans stop. That's what the beans look like. And they're all muddy, like I said, just because the rain splashed up on them. And then right here is our peas. Now, we got peas in later than we would have liked to, but at least they're in and they're growing now. So here is, I'm pretty sure these are sugar snap peas. And then here, which I'm not sure why they're not coming up, making me a little bit nervous. Oh, no, this is dill. This is dill. So that's why I'm not seeing this yet. Now, the dill should be coming up really soon. I can see the ground cracking. I'm hoping, I don't know if you can see that. I'm hoping that means the dill's gonna start breaking up through. The dill we plant by seed as well. And then out here, I was having trouble because I planted the beans and the peas on 2 separate days, or I planted the 2 separate peas on 2 separate days, the shell peas and the snap peas. So I couldn't figure out where one ended and where one started. And so I think I did it pretty well. You can kind of see how thick these are right here, the sugar snap peas. And then these get pretty sparse, and I think these are now the shell peas. And the ground was not freshly worked up, like not freshly tilled. And like I said, I was having a lot of trouble keeping that planter in the ground and pressing it down as hard as I could. And so I think it's kind of showing now. They're not coming up. Like, there's a big section here that's not coming up. So I'm a little bit upset about that, but what are you gonna do? Here now you can see they look like they did a little better. I don't know if the ground was softer or what. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. I thought maybe, you know, back there was shell peas or sugar snap peas. Then I didn't, because I couldn't tell where I stopped. And then right here started the shell peas. But I don't know, I could be wrong. Anyway, we'll have some. You can see them coming up here pretty nice. And they're coming up pretty good out through here. And maybe, since they're still so small, you can see they're just still poking out of the ground. With all that rain, it could have covered them a little bit heavier, and they could still be coming up. You never know. So that's what I'm gonna hope for, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, everything's doing really nice so far. Here is the other field of plastic. Me and Dad laid it, and then Sammy came through She fixed up the end so that it wasn't so bumpy, and everything so far is looking great. You can see it rained so hard that this was like all filled in with dirt, and the rain came down through and just washed this out pretty hard, but no big deal. And the plastic is beautiful. A big deal when we're laying plastic is making sure that bed is completely full. So you can see how there's that little divot here, and there's that divot there right now because the tractor hasn't got up to speed yet, and that's where we started. But over here, I'll show you right here, the bed is completely full. And that's because the tractor was up to speed at this time and the dirt was flowing through properly. But Daisy, what are you doing? She's probably rolling something stinky. Anyway, everything's looking really good. Hopefully we can get in the field again tomorrow, get stuff planted, and you know, stuff can get growing. Tomorrow will be stuff like zucchini, cucumbers, and pickling cucumbers, technically. That's what I'm gonna call it a wrap for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember, it ain't much, but it's honest work.